So good to see you both.
All right.
Yeah. So good to see you. Bridget joining us as well. Oh, she popped on and then popped off. Man, I've been looking forward to this call. I've been seeing posts, so many beautiful posts from people on our last call and how they've been what they've chosen to do and how they've been doing it. And it's exciting. And I know several other people are going to be joining us on this call, but Tanya, I'm just curious, just because we didn't get a chance to hear from you as much last time. Do you want to just introduce yourself, where you're from, and what's in your heart?
Well, I just finished reading your book, which I really enjoyed. It was so touching, and I've read a lot of different things, but there were just so many things about the book that I really did feel like I was called to read it. And so, I mean, it was just kind of a lot of transformation happened when I read the book. And it just so happens that I have a son that has some food allergies and needs healing. So, it's kind of appropriate and great timing. And I think you might remember my son was with me last week or 2 weeks ago, and he's logging in from his computer because I'm not sure if I can stay on the whole time, and I know he wants to. So.
Oh, beautiful. Remind me his name again.
Gavin.
Gavin, yeah, Gavin. I don't see him on yet, but I'm so happy he's joining.
Yeah, he should be logging in just a second.
Beautiful. And I want to say welcome to Doug, Lynn. So good to see you on the call. And Carol V and Larry. So love having you on this call as well. I'm going to send one quick message because I know that Arshia is joining us as well. And I just make sure she's actually asked her to help even post some of it. Ralph, you want to give us an update on what's been happening in your life?
Well, we haven't had any classes for the past 2.5 weeks. Instructors have been busy dealing with patients with various illnesses. So one class will resume tomorrow, and the next class will resume on the 20th of September. So basically, I've just been doing a lot of research on my own, watching a lot of podcasts from herbalists, virologists, various doctors that I know on different subjects. I have bits and pieces of paper that I got to kind of catalog and have them all organized a little bit better according to each one of the podcasts that I was watching. I've been spending a lot of time at reading some books. It's like a catalog from Dragon Herbs here in LA. I got some herbs. I've gotten some herbs from there. I went down there yesterday to get some herbs for a friend of mine, which he didn't show up in the gym today to get them this morning. So, but I got them for him.
Oh man, you're always helping people and using your gift to really make a difference in people's lives. It's so awesome.
So other than that, I'm just waiting for some vouchers to come through for some housing. That's it. The lady told me it's going to take about 2 or 3 weeks for it to come through. So,
Got it.
Got that paperwork.
That's exciting.
Done. And but these dragon herbs, I've been taking an herb. I haven't told anybody, but I've been taking an herb that the Shaolin monks in the temples took. So that's part of my past lifetime.
I
take that before I go.
I want to welcome. Yeah. I'm just going to welcome real quick a couple of the people that joined the call. Gavin, so good to see you again. We were talking about you right before you joined the call, actually. Larry, I already welcomed you. So good to see you. So good to see you, brother. It makes me so happy.
Good to see you.
Yeah. And then Arshia is actually going to be one of the hosts of today's call, kind of coordinating the conversation, discussion. Arshia, so good to see you. Can you unmute yourself and just say hi?
Hello, hi Dr. Kling. Hello everyone. Namaste. Hi Ralph. Hey Gavin. Hey Bridget, Larry.
I want to say that Arshia is such an example of consistent, helpful, loving action. And so having her as a co-host of this call makes me so proud and so happy, because she never seeks credit or fanfare, but she just does the loving action. And I can tell from her meeting her family and in all the things that even all the beautiful interactions that we've been having with each other on these calls and with Ralph, if she's going above and beyond. I know, Ralph, how would you describe Arshia? I know you've been interacting with her, but how do you describe this beautiful being that's with us?
She reminds me of my mother a little bit. She's very loving, very concerned. You know, and like she has a very motherly, loving type of an attitude.
Yeah,
Just a very good soul, loving soul. Very giving soul.
Yeah, I know. And when you talk about how all the paperwork's in place for you to go home, I know there's a lot of people that will be excited when you have a home, but I don't know of anyone that is as excited as Arshia, whenever she's celebrating about it. So we're all rooting for that, not only in short term, but long term. And I want to say, Bridget, welcome to you. I love it when you're always transcribing, and it's so powerful. It's so helpful. I want to say, Renara, welcome, Renara. So happy to see you on the call, and Doug, also welcome to the call. Renara, are you able to unmute yourself and just share anything? Let's see. Maybe she had. Oh, there.
Hello.
Hey, there she is.
Happy to see you, Ralph.
Oh, so happy to see you.
Yeah, happy to see you. Yeah, I was in my little retreat. I mean, it was not really a special. No, that's a special place for me, actually. When I have all the elements of the nature and I'm alone, for me, it is a very special place. So, and it helped me just to reconnect it to myself. And I'm happy to see all of you and to be connected to you now.
Oh, that sounds so delicious, Renara. I'm so glad you did that. When you pour into yourself, there's more than to give, and what you give is so pure and so awesome. Like, even I still have that idea about you channeling some music for some of the homeless people that we're going to meet and interact with, and it's so exciting that you're nourishing yourself. That feels so good to me. In fact, I too, I was offline for the last 12 days almost. I was in the desert and in the mountains, and this is my first live call since then. And so I'm just so happy whenever anyone does that. It's something to celebrate, for sure. Well, let's do this. Sorry, I muted myself accidentally. Let's go through on last 2 weeks ago call. We had such a beautiful meeting. We had Phil Johncock share some of his principles for really how to help in a sustainable way. Ralph shared some of his cool and powerful new insights. And we had lots of even kids on the call. And I loved having Gavin on the call. There's another young man that recorded something in both French and English where he's doing something to help the homeless, which is really beautiful. Hopefully he joins the call. We also had Charlie on the call, which was really fun. And at the end of the call, everyone, I don't know if it was just me but I think it was just such a beautiful feeling. And we all had a chance to say one thing we wanted to do, one experiment we wanted to do over the last couple of weeks. And so maybe Arshia, maybe you could lead this discussion. We could just go one by one. And even if you did something, you didn't do something, you forgot to do it, you want to renew it. And then Arshia and Ralph, you can give commentary on any of it as well. And we can just kind of go through one by one. Maybe I just start by saying that Ralph and I are moving forward with the clinic in LA for the homeless. And Ralph, you want to share some fun news that you got from when I got out of my own offline, I got this beautiful message from Ralph, and maybe you can share that good news, Ralph.
Well, it's I think I've shared it with Bashir and Jana. I wrote to Banyan Botanicals. It's one of the herbs that's on our list. We have a 2-page list from herbology and pathology class, of herb companies to get herbs from and whatnot. So I wrote to to Banyan Botanicals. And within 24 hours, I explained to him, I says, I'm working with Dr. Clint Rogers, who wrote the book. I explained to him about the book. Less than 24 hours, they sent me an email back saying that they would be willing to donate herbs for the clinic.
Yeah.
And that anyone that was promoting Ayurvedic health and Ayurvedic herbs, that they would be willing to assist. So it's the form. I haven't looked at the form, but the person said, the contact says, well, fill out the form, let us know what you need, just fill it out and send it back.
That is so cool. It's so good news. And you know what else is fun is I'm sure Ayush Shakti will be donating herbs as well. But I just love that people are so good, you know, and they want to support. And I'm excited for that. And I didn't share this news with you, but we also have our first donation for the event. Someone donated $1,000 as a sponsor for the event, so we can buy whatever kits or whatever other things that we need, like, for instance, like whatever, we can brainstorm it together and figure out what would be most helpful. But so we got two good newses there, and so things are moving forward in a beautiful way in that way. Any other updates you want to give, Ralph, from your side?
Well,
I know.
You know, my contact at Banyan says, well, whenever you're ready, just submit it. We exchanged 2 emails, so that was cool. Like, I was looking at some possible other Ayurvedic herbal companies, but I think their distances are a little bit too far away, you know. But I might attempt to contact them and see what would happen, what might transpire with them. They have a different type of herb, you know, Ayurvedic herbs that they would probably, if they are willing to donate, would donate. They're more liquid type tinctures and so forth.
So cool. That makes me so excited. Beautiful. Well, that's a very powerful step in the right direction. Now, Arshia, you want to kind of guide the discussion from here, and each person can just go one by one. I don't know. I'm so curious to hear from Gavin. Oh, Maria. I wanted to say Maria, but I see it's our friend. I saw your video. Can you unmute yourself?
Hi,
Hey, tell me your first name one more time.
Donovan.
Donovan. Yes, Donovan. I saw you recorded a video in not only English, but also French.
Yes.
And so Arshia is guiding this discussion. I'm not trying to bypass, but I just saw you were on the call and I wanted to say how excited I am for you to be here. Arshia, you can start from whoever you want to, either with Gavin or with Donovan or anyone, but Arshia is guiding this call today so we can each report back on what's happened.
Wow, you surprised me here. Dr. Klings, welcome back. So good to see your smile and just being there make us so happy. Hey, Gavin, how are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. It's the first time that I see you. Excuse my dog here, Yogi. He gets excited. Did you wanted to share anything?
Yeah, I did do a good bit of research since the last call. And one thing that I found out about is there is quite a lot of insecurity around food that homeless individuals and individuals that aren't experiencing homelessness have. 42 million people are facing food insecurity. Right now in the US, that's 1 in 6. And a lot of times, local drives for food that can benefit the homeless or is provided to the homeless, those do often happen. But one of the issues with a lot of the canned food drives is it's not necessarily the most cost-effective way to provide high quality, nutritious food to individuals that need it. Oftentimes, a lot of the organizations like local food banks they can take a lot of times the same amount of money that is spent on canned foods and buy 6 to 7 times more in fresh food. So believe it or not, donating whatever you would spend on canned goods normally to a local food bank in your area is often the most effective way, because then they can buy like fresh, nutritious vegetables and fruits to individuals that need it. And the other thing that a lot of cities have started doing is they've started doing community gardens and community garden initiatives, which is something great, a great way to get involved, because you can grow organic, high quality food that is then given to individuals that need it. Because one of the challenges with canned foods also is that they do have a high sodium content, which, sometimes that can be difficult because a diet too high in sodium, like it can cause high blood pressure and a couple other health issues. And also with canned food, sometimes you have BPA. So obviously canned food is great if there isn't an alternative, but often it is much more cost effective and easier to provide fresh fruits and vegetables. But you can go to communitygarden.org and they have a database of local community gardens for people that may need to find food or that may want to volunteer with community gardens. And there also is feedingamerica.org, which has a database of all of the food banks across the US, which are providing fresh food. And there was something else, let me look. I think it's called the Homeless Garden Project, which is specifically for people that are experiencing homelessness. It's at homelessgardenproject.org. And they have a lot of resources and training programs for community supported agriculture, specifically for people that are experiencing homelessness.
Wow, Gavin, bravo, bravo. So proud of you. What a research. Yes, Gavin, it starts from you and me, each individual. I have seen this pattern changing, and people try to get together, organizations getting together, cooking, making fresh burritos. And before COVID was getting more and more usual, a little bit stopped because of the COVID, but again, people are trying to do this and have fresh food and fruits and distribute, which is awesome. And yeah, it starts from us, from home and family and friends, and this beautiful message will go around and contagion, what you call Dr. Clint helped me, always says that this ripples and waves of, yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I love how you describe that. Wow, what great research you've done. That was so cool and so helpful. Ralph, did you know about all those resources? Or you may have known some of them, but so cool to hear about all those resources.
I've heard about one. I think the one that he made mention of, Feed America.
Mm-hmm.
That one is in San Diego, isn't it?
I think they do have a location there. That's a big national one. But
the one in San Diego, I know that organization feeds a lot of the military families when they let's just say when the males are deployed overseas, they take care of the families here. They feed the wives and the children of the guys that have been deployed, especially from Camp Pendleton. That one I'm very familiar with.
Gavin, I'm going to hand it back over to Arshay, but I'm just curious, as you were doing the research, any takeaways, any ways in which you, any takeaways from doing that research in particular, ways it changed you or insights it gave you about
Yeah, it's definitely a major issue when you look at the statistics, and it's just like something I never realized before is the amount of people that really are in need of high quality food and access to high quality food. And there's also the other issue is food deserts. So people that live in very rural communities and sometimes don't have access to what we may have in larger cities.
So powerful. Okay, back to you, Arshia.
Again, Gavin, appreciate. Please do your research in week or 2 weeks. Again, we'll get together, share it over and over and over again, so we can just, let everyone know and see how, in the best way, we can manage this. We can reach out to people who are in need, and how we can keep this produce fresh. Usually is a timely manner. We should know in advance when we are going to meet, when we are going to get the produce, so it is going to be as fresh as it is. Awesome. Thank you so much, Gavin. I appreciate it. Want to go to, was it Devin? Maria's son. Hello.
Donovan.
Hi, Donovan. I'm sorry, Donovan. How are you?
Good.
Can you share with us
Yeah.
what is in your mind and heart, please?
Well, I have a whole plan here. It's written in French. I'm just gonna translate it.
Awesome. Yes, please.
So the first thing that I want to do with all the money I'm getting from the campaign, first of all, it's like fall, or I said yesterday, last time, last week, all the tents. And this is for after. So it's food, money, tent, sleeping bag, small mattresses, and cushion, medical help, blood test, scooter, and uh, hot clothes, toys for the kids, phone, like diversity, so they can go to the zoo and everything, and like everything. School and work.
Wow. So you have a campaign going on.
Yeah.
Well, this is huge. It's very, very proud. I'm so proud of you. So you have a medical camp going, you have a food, clothing, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wow. And how are you going about that campaign?
Good.
Okay.
We didn't start yesterday, but before yesterday.
Who is helping you, Devin? Can you say a little more about it? It is awesome.
My mom.
So you put the idea together and you're going to share it with people, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, because it is huge. Well, some people have to take care of food, some people have to take care of clothing, and some people take care of the medical camp, right? Oh, hey, Maria.
Hello, sorry, I am at work, sorry. I just want to say sorry, I am at work. He found all of those ideas by himself. I didn't say anything.
It's awesome. It's amazing. Amazing. Dr. Clint, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say I'm so proud of what you've done, Donovan. I'm so proud of the way in which you stepped in to actually just start making a change and start to, you don't know when you first start how it's going to go, but you created the campaign not only in English but in French, and then you already have a plan of how you want to help. And I'm so excited to hear the next update. As you started communicating and when you posted those videos, have you already had some people to start to donate?
No, not yet.
Not yet. No problem. We're gonna do this together, and we'll find some ways together. Do you have a way in which they can donate?
Your network is
Like
low.
if people, okay, if people, for instance, if people wanted to donate, would you do you have a way in which they can, like either they
Yeah.
the money somewhere or
Yes.
okay, good. So you created which people can give money.
Yeah.
Okay, super. So let's work on something together to make sure by next, how much money is your goal? How much money do you want to raise?
It's gonna start with 2,000, and for all of this, I'm gonna need a lot of money for the medical help and blood tests. So I'm gonna think like 5,000, 1 million.
Got it. 5,000.
1 million.
5,000. What? 5,000, 1 million? In you're in where are you at right now? Are you in Canada?
Yes.
So Canadian currency, so Canadian dollars, about 5,000, starting with 5,000 Canadian dollars, but all the way up to 1 million Canadian dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that vision. If I was with you, I'd just go like this. Our mom would always do. Very good. I'm very excited for you, Donovan. Very much believe in you and believe this is possible. Yeah. So that's so exciting. What have you learned so far? What's your takeaway from the first steps of putting together this campaign?
My first step is make sure that all the person in Duncan are safe, that there's no bacteria and COVID going around, that they are safe, that they have a secure space to sleep in, and that they are not cold.
Fantastic. That's so powerful, Donovan. Both Gavin and Donovan, I think you've inspired all of us just by the steps you've taken and the way you're moving forward. And so excited to be able to share this space with you. Anything that you feel like on a personal level, how does it feel, Donovan, as you've been working on it? How does it feel to move forward with this?
I feel great because, like, I personally think that it's not because you have no money that you shouldn't have a job.
Beautiful.
Like,
it feels good knowing that you can help people. Just because they don't have money or a job doesn't mean that they shouldn't be able to have food, medical, like these kind of things. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And also, like, even if you're homeless, you can't come to say, oh, could I have this job? And like the other person can't. It should be like, well, okay, but you're gonna start slow and climb up the ladder. Cause like they
got
should.
it. You're saying people, it's also difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So proud of you, Donovan.
Amazing.
Amazing. Yes, it is. I just something comes to my mind. So proud of you, Donovan. I know when I started helping and learning many years ago, and my son was little. He was just 6, and at medical camp, I'm just sharing with you that the little kids, they were packing little pens and pads and the stuff for the medical camp to give away. So even you guys just so amazing. And then they were giving idea, mom, can we add a toothbrush? Mom, can we add a toothpaste? Can we do this? Can we do that? So you guys are such a big part, and you guys are so amazing, and I'm so proud of you because your heart is so vast and wants to do so much. Your ideas are so bigger, And I am learning so much today from you. So I appreciate you. Can't wait to hear more of what you have in your mind and your heart next time. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Anyone else who wants to share from last week? Larry, hi, Larry. Do you want to unmute and share what's your heart and mind and what is it that you've been practicing
Sure.
since
Well,
last week? Thanks.
I've just decided to sort of pester Ralph. So I've been doing that. And Ralph's been helping me back. So we're working on some various things. Ralph, maybe you'd like to talk about this book you're writing. That would be one project that I'm pestering Ralph on. Another one is he needed some books of herbalism. I'm good at finding books, so I found them. They're on their way to him now.
Beautiful. He mentioned that. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
And then I've got a friend who's got a blood cancer, and Ralph has been helping me figure out how to help her. So it's definitely a two-way street. So that what do you, Ralph, anything to add?
Well, I'm finished with the outline of the book. I'm working on the preface right now. I haven't written it out, the preface of the book, but I've had some thoughts in my mind about what it's going to be, but that's about it. That's all I'm going to say. I just thank Larry for the books and everything. And hopefully the information that I sent him for his friend that has a blood situation, hopefully that would help them a lot, because it's all Ayurvedic herbs and like it's a form of detoxifying the blood and getting all of the getting the red cell count back up,
Yeah. Just so you know, I've followed up on what you've said, and I've got those herbs going to her now.
Yeah, and it's another formula I have, but you would have to probably get the herbs and make it. I think the first one I sent you about, I don't know if you've heard of the Hoxie formula.
The Cassiac. I'm trying to remember the
Cassia, and then it's another one. Cassia, that formula goes back almost 100 years.
Yeah.
And red clover is one of the main herbs in that. It's really good for the blood.
Okay.
The other one is the Hoxie. I have an herbal book that deals with this formula, deals with all kinds of cancers and whatnot. And that Hoxie formula is a very powerful formula. Before the Rockefellers and the Carnegies just banned herbal medicine in the United States and in the major institutions in the early 20s, they were one of the last herbalists still allowed, still in America, and they had to flee to Mexico.
Yeah.
So they have a center in Mexico. That's some more information I need to send you to. It's like Hope for Cancer and the Hoxie Clinic in Mexico. They really have a high percentage of curing people of different stages of cancer and various kinds of cancer. I'm gonna have to send you that information. Dr. Tony Jimenez runs the Hope for Cancer Clinic in Baja. It's just a little bit south of San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to send you that information, okay?
Great. Thank you.
What I love is 2 weeks ago, I remember when everyone was going through what they wanted to do, and when Larry says, I want to help capture Ralph's story. And I love this update. I love that the unexpected kind of side benefits that come out of it is not only increased friendship, but also helping your friend even deeper, who I think I know who you're talking about. It makes me so happy. So beautiful. So thank you, Larry. Thank you, Ralph. Thank you, Arshia.
Thank you. Exchange of, this connection, just exchange of love and information and knowledge is the next step that we can grow and learn and do help others. It's just beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say real quick, I want to meet again in 2 weeks from today, if possible, for everyone. And I know everyone hasn't had a chance to share. Arshia will take you through. Everyone will get a chance to share. I love it. I saw Jana join the call. Hey, Jane, so good to have you join. We're just going through one by one, sharing what we committed to 2 weeks ago and what unfolded since then. And then at the end of the call, it'd be nice to commit to do one other thing. And the one thing I want to say, because I have to leave this call right now or in a short period of time, I want to commit to join with Ralph and solidifying the actual date in LA. My guess is it will be early October when we have the clinic for the homeless people. And so I'm excited about that. That's what I want to commit to do. But Arshia, please continue to take through one by one, making sure everyone gets a chance to share. Gavin and Donovan, wow, you inspired me so much. And I can't wait to hear what is it that you're committing to do in the next 2 weeks. So be thinking, as other people are sharing, be thinking, what do you want to do in the next 2 weeks? What else do you want to do? How do you want to take it further? And like Phil Johncock said on the last call, this is the critical time because it's just getting colder. And pretty soon, anything we do now, any of the brainstorming, heartstorming we do, you don't know whose life it's going to change or touch. So Arshia, keep conducting this beautiful call. You're doing a fantastic job. And I just want to say, I love everyone. I'm with you, and I'll be joining with you in 2 weeks. I'm actually in the middle of the mountains right now, and so I had to come down to make sure I had internet and Wi-Fi. But I'm just so grateful to be able to join you. And looking forward.
We love you, and I'll be with you. You take care.
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful.
We be in touch, Dr. Clint. Okay. We'll be in
beautiful. Please, and everyone.
Oh, where are you, Jana? Hello, Jana.
Hi.
Hi, I want to see your beautiful face.
It sounds like it was an amazing call so far. It's awesome.
It is. Did you get some glimpse of what Gavin and Donovan had to say?
You know what? I have not, but I can always watch the replay, or if you guys want to fill me in, that would be awesome.
They are both just amazing. They're going to repeat it, and we're going to hear just amazing ideas. It's just their kind and broad heart is just amazing. And Ralph and Larry and Nick's, anyone else? Jenna, do you want to share what you wanted to accomplish these 2 weeks? I know you do so much. If you want to just,
well,
just some of the things that you wanted. Go ahead.
Right now I've just been doing a little bit of donation. So I've been donating to different funds, not just homeless, but some other humanitarian efforts. Let's see, what else have I done? That's pretty much what I've been doing. I mean, Ralph and I keep in contact. I just love what he shares with me. I just cannot believe what he shares with me. I can't wait for this book. I think it'll be so good.
I know Ralph just, I call him sunshine because the light that he has that goes around and just shares, boom, 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 whatever difficulty that there is, he just doesn't shy away. There's just amount of love comes through. He takes everything. It just keeps your heart warm that the possibilities and the hope is there, that is very, very important. We thank you for that, Ralph. Please know that.
You're welcome.
One more thing, referring back to the book about, humanizing, there are so many people right now that are not feeling connected with a group or with people. And I've been very lucky that I've posted a couple of things on Facebook, and I cannot believe the number of people that have reached out to me from the past. So either they're lonely or they're going through something. And I've just really had the luxury of having a little bit of time to be able to donate to listening to them. And it's amazing just even hearing, having them be heard. I can't believe the return messages that come back to me about just listening made such a difference in their life, you know. And I you know, I know that they're not homeless or, you know, but they're going through challenges. And it really is such a big thing for us to listen, to respect. That's the other thing, is when we meet anybody, to just really come to you know, view them with a level of respect. And when you view them at a level of respect, the love that you have inside of yourself just shines through. So
what you just said is exactly what Dr. Naram has in book. Was it Baba Ramdas said, or I don't want to quote wrong, but that the first thing people need is understanding. You just touched base on that, is understanding. That is love. When we understand other people, their frustration or where they come from, that's when we see them. We see them through before we need to do anything else. So thank you, Jana. Thank you. You just touched base on that, which is very powerful quote in the book. Yes, Bridget.
That's so beautiful, because I was at a place like that about 6 weeks ago. I was in Colorado, and my mother, she's still in rehab with a stroke, but I was walking down the street and there was obviously a guy who was homeless. It was in the city. He looked at me, I looked at him, I smiled. He said, "Excuse me, do you have $1?" I go, "I have $1." I mean, there were cars driving by, I felt safe. I go, "I have $1 for you." I go, "Can I ask you, why are you homeless? I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking that. What is your story?" So I just started walking along with him, and we ended up in front of a Taco Bell or a Wendy's. And I told him, you know, just buy anything that you need. Just buy anything that you need. And I don't like telling good deeds, but this guy was like crying. And he shared a story with me, and he's going through hard times, but I saw the humanity in him. And I left that day meeting a good friend, and I'll always remember him, and I know he'll remember me. So that's my interaction with homelessness. What I've done these past 2 weeks is I've gotten out my homeless dolls, and I've sewn these to provide to homeless shelters, because I have a granddaughter, and sometimes if she's sad and crying, it's good to have something to hold on to and love. So this is for the little homeless kids who don't have a voice.
Amazing, Bridget, amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Sharing so deep. Wow. Wow, that's awesome. Thank you. Wow. Yes, as she's sewing, Dr. Clint said, the weather is getting colder. So if anyone is getting in, hold of any organization that they need hats for kids or in schools, you guys can just call, reach out and ask and see, where the need is, because they're going to need hats, gloves. There are many organizations that are going to gather this for the kids or for the adult, doesn't matter. But this is a season, so we want to keep them, not only the food is important, what they're going to wear and have is very important as well. Ralph, do you have anything to say on that, please? If I have to correct me.
I'm looking at Donovan and Gavin have some very good ideas. One of the things that Donovan talked about, the medical aspects, I know that, I don't know how it is in Canada, but I know here in LA, UCLA has a mobile health, I guess you could say RV that goes around. Mm-hmm. They used to go around, I don't know, since COVID, I know they would go around to the food coalitions that were feeding the people, homeless people. And, once a week they would come to the West Hollywood Food Coalition coalition, and they would examine people. They had a doctor and they had a nurse and they had interns, and any of the people that had any type of they had a cold or any type of injuries or whatnot, or if they had high blood pressure, sometimes they were given a medication right there on the spot for a common cold. But if it was something that they couldn't treat right there in the RV, they would set up a free consultation at UCLA Medical Center for the individuals to come and be checked out by a physician. They would write it up and have a date and time for them to show up. I don't know if anything is like that in Canada or not, but I think most major hospitals throughout the United States have a mobile RV health van that goes around and assist people like that.
Okay. All right.
And as far as the coal is concerned, some of the military armories are open from, I think, from November until the end of March, and they provide housing for them and some place for them to sleep at night. They have pickup points and they pick them up at a certain time. They feed them. There's clothes there for them, showers there for them. Some recreational activities like watching TV, maybe playing checkers or chess or whatever for them. That's a place for them to stay. And if the weather is too inclement, they don't allow them to go. They're not shuttled back to the spot where they were picked up. They just let them stay in until the weather is clears. I had a friend of mine, he did that for a whole year. He did it for a whole year. He stayed in the armory up near the VA hospital, up near UCLA for a whole year.
Okay. Wow.
And he told me about it. He told me about the experience, Told me about the experience that he had,
Good to know, Ralph. I know about medical camps. There are some available. I know about food, food drives. There are many places, but the next thing comes is a really housing. That's something that if I get to it, I try to push, and we all try to speak to people, I'm sure, and I'm Donovan and Gavin, that's the next thing that whoever you speak to is a housing, how, go ahead, Ralph.
That's the most important thing is the housing. They're building so many apartment complexes here in LA. They're gentrificating a lot of people in apartments. And the relocation fees that they're offering these people are not, they can't really afford to find a decent place to live, I got a friend of mine in the gym right now who, the owner of the building is trying to get everybody out of the building because he wants to turn it into a condominium. So gradually, what he did, I think the end of last week, he went into this friends of mine's apartment. He took his sink out, took the kitchen sink out. So they have no place to wash their dishes or wash their food, vegetables and so forth. So he's gradually, piece by piece, trying to force them to leave. He's offered them enough money. He feels that it's enough money for them to relocate, but it's not. And it's difficult. And his friend and his wife both work. She's a college professor and he works as a waiter, but he used to work on, used to be a dancer on Broadway. So he saved a lot of money when he worked on Broadway. But even if they did get a relocation fee to move, it would eat up all the money that they have saved, accumulated, especially to stay here because the dwelling that they live in, the apartment that, they live in, they're not going to find one for that price. It will be triple what they pay right now. And that's on his mind. He's trying to get his wife to relocate to another state. It's difficult.
What
Yeah.
what do you think we need to do? What do you think needs to happen in order to help them or to help people like that?
Okay, in terms of people like this friend of mine that's working, the smart thing for him to do is relocate. But there are, like when you drive to San Diego and some, like you see a lot of vacant military bases. I know like on the 405 going down San Diego, even taking the train down to San Diego, you'll pass by a military installation that's abandoned.
Yeah.
You're talking about maybe 4 or 5 buildings that could be turned into. We're talking about barracks. Barracks where the military personnel were housed, and then you're talking about aviation hangars, which could be turned into large facilities for people to sleep in. You're talking about where tanks were stored, where all the military vehicles were stored. And these buildings are abandoned. There are a lot of abandoned military bases throughout the United States. They could be used to house these people.
It makes me wonder why they haven't, knowing that, this is an issue. It makes me wonder why they're not surrendering the land and the property. I mean, there has to be, some reason. Either they're concerned with, war happening again and that they would fill up the military bases again, or, I can see it if they were using it for a temporary. There would have to be some sort of, I don't know, either a reason or I don't know.
I don't know.
But it would
either,
be,
but
we ought to see how we could find out.
it would be very convenient for them to do it. Maybe, because if people could work, they could give them the responsibilities of cleaning the area, which would provide them with jobs and whatnot. May not pay them that much, but it would help them maintain their accommodations,
I wonder who we would talk to about that. Do you have any idea who might need to be communicated with about that?
Well, you can contact your local state Congress representative or state representative, and you don't know how much kickback they may be getting to keep their mouths shut about it.
No, I understand. I do.
Yeah.
But when there's if it is something that you feel like it really needs to happen,
yeah,
then we need to find a way to do it. And the more that they become aware, because what I see is a lot of people do not have the creative solutions. They're not looking at what we're looking at. They're not looking at what you're looking at. And so a lot of times it's just a matter of planting a seed and the ball gets rolling. So it just may be that you send a letter, just maybe a letter, and with your idea, your creativity, and maybe that's what it would take. It's just a half an hour composing a letter, sending it to California state senator, and with the possibility that something may change. And if you don't hear anything back in a month, send another letter. That may be what we can do, just to plant the seed to get the ball rolling. And maybe if they come back and say, well, we're not able to do that because of government security, but we might be able to find another solution.
But if they're using the armories during the wintertime to house people, seems like they would do the same thing to house people on a permanent basis. And they have, when this friend of mine told me, they did have military personnel in the armories. They weren't guarding the armories, but it was part of the armory where they would come in and out for certain reasons, doing their jobs and stuff. And he saw that the time, the year that he stayed in the armory, well, a few months that he did stay in the armory during the winter. So it's not like they, they can't do it,
Well, it sounds like we need to get some information about the different states and the senators. And who we, maybe send some emails or letters to, probably emails,
Yeah, and
be able to get some answers. Go ahead,
the-
Gavin.
The letter templates could be reused or sent out like in an email list or with a group of people, because it's not necessarily just one letter, but if hundreds and hundreds of letters come in, you know, it's definitely something that they will be more likely to respond to if that's, you know, a situation where I know sometimes with certain websites for organizations or causes, a template can be made on a website, and the link for the website can be sent out, and all someone has to do is basically just add their name to the end of it, and it will send an individual letter. So maybe finding out about doing something similar to that.
It's more like a petition, almost like you're speaking of, right, Gavin?
Yeah, it's like a petition, but
it's a massive thing. Like you just sign your name and your email address, and boom, it goes out, right?
Yeah, and it'll send as like an email.
Yeah, that's better than one individual, every individual writing a letter or sending an email.
Yeah, very, very good. But the one thing that I'm thinking of is if we are able to communicate with the person who has the knowledge as to whether this property is available, it would be good to be able to identify that first, you know, and be able to have that conversation, you know, is this a possibility? And then put the forces behind where, you know, we do some sort of petition or, you know, say, you know, hey, this is available, you know, where it's just sitting, it's vacant, you know, they don't have any plans for it, you know, would this be something that you would be interested in? And, you know, I don't know, it's just a thought, just an idea. I'm not saying that that is or isn't something that needs to happen. So great idea.
No, it's a great idea.
Insights.
It is. I have seen what Ralph is talking about, and I sometimes see some maneuver, and they are practicing on and off. The military is down there, you know, they change a spot. So that could be, as Jana said, maybe they keep it for the time is needed because they're on and off practicing there. The planes are, yeah.
They could be storing emergency food just in case of certain situations too, you know.
But
you never know.
There should be places, it should be brought up, it should be brainstorm with, you know, senators or whoever is in charge to have a place that people can go, people can share, they learn. Even at SPY, they used to have, you know, art center, they used to have job placement. So people can come, feel safe, learn something and have a place, and then perhaps go back, you know, having a job and being able to keep, you know, just back to the society. That's what I want to see, that everybody's healthy and back to the society. And that is possible because everyone can help. Everyone can help. It's just all these wonderful ideas needs to come together. Of course, perhaps we have to run it by you know, the law of the state, and then go forward with that.
Yeah.
Another
thing is, like, a lot of these people a lot of them don't realize that the Department of Public Services, they can get food stamps. A lot of them don't know how to get it. And right now, I mean, a lot of them have phones, but they don't know that they can just call up and get food stamps. And they can go to, perhaps, you can't go inside the facilities right now, but they can apply outside the facility. So another thing is to teach them how to do it, and even take them, tell them, hey, go to this location and you can get food stamps.
Very well said, Ralph.
Huh?
Very well said.
And, you know, because a lot of them are not even thinking about that.
Exactly.
You know? And, you know, they have something called CalFresh. CalFresh is, I mean, it's nothing but food stamp. And, like, you can go to Whole Foods and buy anything you want. You can buy anything you want with it, except alcohol, cigarettes, and so forth and so on. You can get a really good meal with the amount of food stamps that they give these people, especially in CalFresh.
Ralph, what is your suggestion on that for awareness and education? Because we know many organizations do give food. Food is available, but people don't know the sources to go to for.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Because like they could do the same thing that the the transit authority doesn't do it anymore. Years and years ago, they would pass out leaflets with information on where the homeless people could go have showers, to go get free meals and so forth. Bus drivers don't do that anymore. They don't do it anymore.
I did.
Something happened and the ACLU, whatever the organization, got involved. Someone did something and complained about it, and they stopped doing it. But that was part of the drivers. When these people would get on the bus, they had an ample supply and they would pass it out. You can go to this, you can go here, you can go there. This is where you can get food. This is where you can get clothes and blah 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 blah. But they stopped it.
No, why do they stop such thing?
I don't have a clue.
If there's a problem, they can make it. Go ahead, my dear.
I was going to say, it may be costs. You know, a lot of times, some of the, you know, the Uber drivers have really cut into the profit of bus companies. And, you know, I'm wondering if, you know, if there's a cost that needs to be cut. You know, I know that printing and paper and, you know, that sort of thing, that may have been the reason why. I don't know. But I was just thinking, there are, pardon?
Cost of paper would be the problem, you know, printing.
Could be. Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So I was just thinking, I think for my new commitment is I'm going to at least contact 1 or 2 organizations in the next 2 weeks to be able that already work with homelessness, because a lot of what we're talking about, people have already tried, and I don't want to reinvent the wheel. And so I've got a couple of people that I'm going to contact to see, you know, their solutions or some of the things that they've come into in regards to government, in regards to housing for the homeless, in regards to getting them educated, you know, because the specific organizations here in Georgia, that's what they do, is they work with people who are homeless, and that's what they do full time. So I don't know, that's kind of my commitment. Gavin, did you have something that you wanted to share?
Yes, I did just did some like preliminary research, and the EPA has something that looks like it's really interesting that a lot of you may want to look at or read over, maybe glance over a couple sections on it. It's called Turning Bases into Great Places. It's called New Life for Closed Military Facilities. And it talks a lot and gives a couple case studies of other cities. Like at one place in Orlando is one of them that they have, where old military bases have been turned into affordable housing and like parks, nature parks, things like that. I'll attach the link for
that'll be perfect.
Anyone that wants to read that.
That is awesome.
Awesome. Thank you.
It makes me wonder who funded the revamp of that, or if it was if they did some crowdfunding to be able to get the funds to be able to turn that into low income housing. That's beautiful. Thank you, Gavin.
It's a possibility that the government gave them low interest loans to refurbish the facilities, or the government themselves may have done it.
Makes sense. Donovan, did you have something that you wanted to share? Did you have like a video or something? I can't hear you, sweetie. Are you on mute?
Yeah.
There we go.
I just need to find. Okay, find.
Arshia, can you make him a co-host so he can share his screen?
I haven't done that.
Okay, so just to hover, go into the participants panel and hover over his name. And you'll see it says mute or more, and hit the down arrow on the more, and you'll see make him a co-host since you're the host.
Co-host, sure. There we go.
So
I still don't see him as a co-host. Oh, there we go. Okay. So now, Donovan, you can go down to the bottom of your screen and hit share
yes,
screen. Oh, perfect. You know how to do it.
and
Awesome.
it's this one. Sure. Can you hear?
Yes.
No, can't hear it. So if
Oh.
you'll go back out, and so exit screen share.
Oh no, it's because my volume was down.
Oh, good, good, good. Okay. Nope, still can't hear it, sweetie.
What?
So if you go back out, there's a little button that says share audio. When you hit the share screen, it's down at the very, so if you exit share screen.
Wait. Okay. Oh yeah, here.
Yeah.
So share audio.
So exit here. I'll exit for you. No, that's not going to work. So if you'll exit the screen share, so at the top there should be
Share. At the top of my screen.
Yep, it says exit screen share.
No, it's. Oh yes, stop share.
There you go. I'm sorry, I thought it said exit, but it said stop. Okay, so now go into the screen share, and before you share your screen, it will come up with a blue square and some of the screens that you have.
Share sound.
And if you go to the very bottom, there's a button that you click. It says share sound.
Yes.
And then also optimize for video clips. So click that one as well. And then we should be able to hear it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Donovan, and I want to help homeless people. It all started when I moved in this house. It was close to a year ago. I met someone that really changed my life. His name was Art, and I see him, and he has this sign, and I don't want to see this sign again. It's annoying because this sign says I need food, and he shouldn't need that. So if you really want to help me, go to GoFundMe.com. It really helps me and every single people. You can change lives because the cold season is arriving. Thank you. Hi, my name is Donovan, and I want.
That's amazing. So Donovan, tell me how you have made, where have you put that? How have you sent that? How have you shared that video?
I shared it because it's for the campaign to help, and it's really important for me.
I think it's amazing. So have you sent it out in emails, or did you post it on Facebook?
It's on Facebook.
It's on Facebook. Do you have a?
No, come. Wait. Yeah, you can go find it on Facebook, but it's for GoFundMe.
So if we do GoFundMe, how do we find the account that you are sponsoring?
You search Stop Poverty.
Stop Poverty? Is that what it says? You go to GoFundMe and Stop.
I'm sending the link.
Oh, wonderful.
Oh, that's a link. There's the link. Okay. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Thanks, Donovan.
Arshia, has everybody shared?
Ah, Renera. Hi, Renera. You want to share anything? How are you? Is she still on?
Yeah.
You're muted, Renera.
Yeah, it shows that you're not muted, but for some reason we can't hear you. There we go.
Hello.
Yes, yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually, as I'm in Paris in France and not really familiar with American rules of laws and etc. So I just want to say that I was in very, very small town in Italy, and I didn't see even one homeless. And I was very, very happy for this small town, you know, with the simple people. And in Paris, it's not the same. So I was a little bit in retreat these 2-3 weeks, and happy to see and listen all of you. And would like to ask Ralph. Ralph, there is something in emergency for you personally now. We can give you our help for you personally.
Just help me pass my exams coming up in the next month.
Great. What we have to do to pray, or maybe something more concrete?
Send me some of your brain juice, okay?
Cute.
You know, that really brings up a really good point, though. Renar and I happen to belong to a little meditation group every single morning, and every single morning we have a little light conversation, you know, about different things. But every morning, as I sit and meditate, I just imagine and pray very good things for people who are in need. That includes the homeless. That includes people who are in the hospitals. That includes everybody. And to be honest, I think that this really has a huge impact, you know, and even if you cannot do anything, or if you're busy with work and you cannot really spend time to research something to do specifically for humanitarian work, you know, in this case, homelessness, you know, your prayers and meditations, good thoughts, good energy really makes a huge difference, because it may help somebody be inspired, you know, for something else, you know, for something that will be very beneficial. So at least that's my opinion.
Very well said. Very well said. Thank you. Thanks, Renera. Lynn, dear, we haven't heard from you. Hi. You want to share anything? Hi there.
Lynn would love you to unmute. We love hearing your beautiful voice. Love it. You may not be in a position. Oh, got it. You're in a community space.
Okay.
You'll not be able to speak, just listening today. So
Awesome.
we're so glad that you're here on the call.
Yes, so glad. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you. Be well wherever you are. Anyone else wanted to share anything in your mind, in your heart?
Ralph, do you give the consultation sometimes by WhatsApp, or by the people can take your consultation officially? I mean, officially, you know,
Well,
because I know you have the huge knowledge about the plants.
Yeah, I've been helping.
So
I've been helping people. Like they send me.
professionally, I mean professionally with exchange. Yeah.
Yeah, well, exchange. Well, I mean, like one lady I couldn't help because she really needed an allopathic situation.
Mhm.
I mean, she sent me her CT scans, which I could read, but I'm like, I'm not a surgeon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've helped some people. A guy with diabetes. I think the most challenging one was his helping his niece, giving him some information on schizophrenia, which one of my instructors, we had a class and he said, well, it can be cured. So like I have a bunch of books. I have one of these old Ayurvedic medicine books which talked about how to cure schizophrenia. So I sent him that information. Fortunately, one of the Banyan botanicals, which I deal with a lot, they had the herbs for that. But I'm definitely going to send Larry this information about Hope for Cancer and the Hoxie Clinic in Mexico, because they've had people go down there with stage 4 cancer and be cured. Stage 3, any stage of cancer, providing that the person follows the protocol. That's the most important thing. But like my instructors say, help people start getting your feet wet now. And like sometimes I say, man, this is a real challenge sometimes, but you learn,
Yes.
you go through the research, you go through everything you learn. And then sometimes you'll have an idea come in your own head, that you weren't even looking for in the book. It'll just pop up in your head, So I'll do it. People got to realize I won't be certified for another few months though.
We better be sending some brain juice his way, Renara, in the morning.
Yeah.
Brain juice to Ralph.
Okay, we will put you in the middle of the circle and to send the fontaine of the brain juice.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with people talking to Ralph and just offering their donations for whatever they feel is the value that he has given or offered,
Yeah.
So that's always a possibility, just the donations to him.
But it's fun. It's not work with me. I enjoy it.
Great.
That's what they say, you find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life, but there's nothing wrong with, receiving income or, financial gain because of it. Yes.
I still learning, Ralph. Yeah.
Huh?
I still learning. I'm eternal student in this area.
Yeah, I mean, we all are.
We all are.
I mean, because I got a friend of mine. I had to kind of like calmly tell him one day. I sent him some information on something. Oh, I'm done. I know this. I said, look, man, listen. I know it too, but this is another doctor's point of view in detail of what we both know. You might learn something. Don't always say, well, I know this, because there's always something, a point of view that somebody else has that you don't know anything about. He shut him up. He says, he listened. He said, oh, when he watched it, he said, oh, I didn't know that. And it's like my instructors say, they don't know anything. They're still learning themselves. They're learning from us. We're learning from them.
Exactly.
And they'll do things, they be trying to figure out things, and all of a sudden they'll have an idea that comes, to the top of their head. Okay, I'm gonna try this. I don't know if it's gonna work or not. And then it works, and then they write it down and they log it. Oh, it worked.
It really does. That reminds me of the what do you want, Marma. When you do that, it opens up your subconscious mind to be able to receive. Larry says for Ralph to do the focus, Marma. do that focus marma every single day. And then also Lynn was expressing her gratitude for being here, and for Donovan and for Gavin, and
why not this one?
Oh
you
yes,
know, to be in the to be in the palace of Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
This one. Do you remember the
Seven
Dr.
Fingers
Nara
Down.
with Smeater? Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, the strangest thing is, like, the Chinese doctor that I used to go to, who's deceased now, it just dawned on me, like, when I would go in and even have a consultation with him, he was always chanting the Medicine Buddha mantra. And I read about the power of that Medicine Buddha mantra. When you're treating somebody, you're chanting that for a divine answer to whatever ails that person. The whole time that you're taking a pulse or whatever you're doing.
Do you have that Buddha, the Medicine Buddha mantra? Do you have it written down?
Version. I chant the short version. I have both versions. I have the long and the short.
Would you post it in the group, in the Global Healing?
Yeah.
I mean, how wonderful to be able to have us chant that for people who are homeless and who are not well, because there's a lot of people in our group that are not well. Yeah. And it would be wonderful if we could do that for them.
It's a very powerful mantra, because he used to do it. And first time I went to him, and like, I knew he was chanting. He was chanting in Chinese. Then it dawned on me, this is what he's doing. And you could feel a transfer of energy, healing energy from him to you when he was doing that.
Donovan, thank you. I'm so sorry. Donovan said that he's got to go. Donovan, are you needing to go?
Yeah, I need to go to take my lunch, but do you know when's the next meeting?
Donovan, are you from Montreal?
No.
No?
I'm from France.
I'm from France. Me too. Alors tu es d'où?
Where were you born?
No more.
I was born at Laval.
I was born in Azerbaijan, in Baku, made my study in Moscow, and moved in France. Alors, j'habite Paris.
Tu habites à Paris.
J'habite à Paris, oui. Mais...
J'étais née à Laval.
À Laval? Quelle année?
2011.
2011, bravo. He was born 2011. So I will be happy to see you and your mom in France once, somewhere.
Awesome. Well, Donovan, thank
bravo,
you so
bravo
much.
for your English, Donovan. For one French of 11 years old or 10 years old to speak English like you do, it is, you are in 1% of the French population.
Thank you so much, Donovan. Thanks for sharing, sweetheart. We love you and we're with you. Go have your lunch. We'll see you, okay?
Bye.
Bye. Oh, so sweet. Oh, so
I wanted to say one more thing that Lynn had put in the chat. She said, Brother Ralph gives amazing blessings, even better than his herbs that he advises. So he just says, so if you ever need a blessing from Ralph, hey, that would be awesome.
for sure.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm going to need to leave really soon. So
thank you, Jana. Beautiful, Jana. Let's wrap it up. Thank you so much for all of you for being here. Love you and with you, and perhaps it would be announced when we meet next time.
Yeah.
Okay,
See you
thank
next time.
See you next
And
time.
we'll all together, we make
Take
one.
care. Love you
Yeah.
and with you.
Love you and I'm
Love
with you.
Love
you,
you
I'm with
and with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget the brain juice now.
Yeah,
Brain
the
juice.
big fontaine and the abundance of the brain juice.
Yeah.
Every morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ralph,
Bye.
Jana, Renera,
Bye.
Larry. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye, Lynn.